Hi there, Gemini. It's Jen here from tarotspirit.net. I'm doing your 2018 overview reading. So I already laid out the cards, and I did lay out a card for each month and did it in quarters, but I'm going to skip around a little bit, just be a little more free flowing because I feel like the reading just flows better if I'm not regimented and I have to read each card in a row. So, what I'm seeing with you coming into the new year is really this feeling of transformation. It's sort of like you just you've just been sort of going through the motions and it's you just have a real lack of energy. You're not feeling super enthused about something. And again, this is rarely like your whole life, but often if it's stressful in one part or you know bringing you down one part of your life, it will sort of spill into other areas. So I just feel like you're kind of having trouble sorting out your emotions about a certain situation and you're kind of exhausted. You kind of just are like, I don't really want to do this anymore. um and so the cards are really, so you have this moon that's kind of like this. um it can be, the moon energy can be really exhilarating. This is actually popping up in January. So we have two new moons. Is that right? We have an eclipse, we have a blue moon. So there is a lot of moon energy happening in January, and I don't sleep well, especially around the blue moons, and I'm very sensitive to that. So one thing could just be mindful of that there is a lot of stuff going on. And I mean, the moon literally affects the oceans. I mean, think of how massive the oceans are. So the moon really does have a physical pull and effect on the earth and things on the earth. And if it can pull an ocean, it certainly can affect us in some way. Um, so just to be aware of that. It can also say to really think about your dreams and pay attention to your dreams. And the moon energy can also be exhilarating. If you've ever been out on a moonlit night, it's really can be a really cool energy. But it can also distort things and make shadows and make things look, yeah, distorted. Whereas in the light of day, you're like, oh, was just a branch from a tree, but at night it looked scary. So just to be aware that if you're having trouble, like you're getting a under hold of your emotions, you're having trouble sorting out your feelings, maybe just to sit with it and give it some time and allow not to make any big decisions or big changes based on that, just to let it sort itself out a little bit, and it will probably calm down on its own. But you're feeling sort of like, I just don't want to go on. I don't want to. I'm just exhausted. I'm feeling battle weary. Like I'm just sick of sort of the grind, doing the same thing over and over. And it can't, even though there are a lot of growth on these wands, it can just mean that your energy is really, really zapped. And you're preparing, you're like, and this can even happen like when even if you're like finishing up school, it's like that one last class or this last year or this last, you're just like, or maybe this is your last semester or the last push of something. And so this is just saying, persevere, don't give up. You're almost there. Don't give up right before you're about to reach your goal, and to sort of try to motivate yourself. Although it can be really hard because, you just are like, ugh, I just don't have any energy. I remember I was in school recently, and that last class just for some reason seemed 10 times worse than, I don't know. It was just, and I know it was how I was thinking about things. But it just seemed like it took 10 times more effort than any of the other classes I had taken. So just persevere. But there is there is though this energy, this not being able to sort out your feelings, feeling like you don't really want to pursue. There's something bubbling under the surface for you guys of some sort of change. A transformation is coming, is afoot. And that may be some of it. Maybe you're like, why am I doing this? What's the purpose? There's something, there are questions popping up. There are things your subconscious is trying to tell you something. So while I'm telling you to finish, um, it, so for some of you, it's going to be to persevere, but for some of you, you may be like, okay, I just got my degree and I just realized I want to do something completely different. Oh crap. And you know what? It's okay. It's sometimes you don't know. I mean, relationships, jobs, careers, school, even, you don't really know what it's really going to be like until you're doing it, until you're living it. And then if it's something you really can see yourself doing forever. So be open to maybe transforming your life in a pretty drastic way. And that takes a lot of strength. You need to make yourself vulnerable to say, I know someone that was a vet, and she stopped being a vet. She was just like, this is killing me. It was, and it was what she had wanted to do since the age of 9. But she had to have the strength of character to know, like, this is not working out for me, and I'll figure it out. It was really, really difficult for her, but being authentic and true to herself, it wasn't something she just gave up on. It wasn't an easy decision, but she's like, I need to transform my life. Life is too short, and I will figure something else out. And that stuff happens. And these aren't decisions to be made lightly. So this isn't just like, oh, screw it, I don't feel like doing this anymore. This is something that's been kind of building for a really long time. This could be leaving a relationship, leaving a job, it could be anything, school, or maybe you want to do something drastic, and it doesn't have to be that was sort of a negative example. Like, I really want to go to school now for something else. I want to learn how to blow glass. I want to move. I want, whatever it is, whatever has been sort of wearing on you for a long time. And it's interesting because when you really have the courage to make the changes you need to happen to pursue this thing that's been calling to you, or move away from something that's really been turned out to be more negative than positive, it takes a lot of strength of character. But once you sort of make that decision and you can transform your life. And remember, this death card, it's often they use the example of a butterfly. The caterpillar, once it becomes the butterfly, will never, it's the same being. It's the same creature, but it will never be a caterpillar again. It can never go back. So it's kind of like, once you know something, you can't unknow it. Once you admit that something isn't working for you, or you want something different, want something new, it's like you can't forget it. You can't go back. But I see this as being a super positive thing for you, because then it's like you're feeling better about things. So whatever has been like a burden to you, a monkey on your back, this is going to be a year where you make a positive change forward, to let go of things that aren't working for you, and to bring in positive things. But it's going to be a tough decision. This isn't something you're making lightly. You will really have to think about it. But it's interesting. Once you make that decision, it's like and this is about Mayish, springtime. And I think it's like you're going to talk to some wise person and this doesn't even and wise people can come in all sorts of different, this could be the kid behind you at the checkout counter in the grocery store, or just someone you run into, or something you hear on the radio that just strikes you. Um, it's like once you get it straight in your head, like something just clicks with you, and you just are like, oh, okay. Um, you're just able to, all of a sudden it clicks, like the bottom line, and you're able to make this decision. And this says, this Emperor card is like, be the emperor in your own life. The decisions you make have to be your own. It doesn't mean you're selfish and not listening to other people that may have skin in the game, but it's like you're the one that has to live with the consequences of any decision you make. So you better be one you can live with, because I tell you, the people who are the most vocal about what you can do in your life seem to be the ones that if something doesn't work out, they're like, hey, you know, you didn't have to do what I said. You're the one that did it. They tend to be the ones that um, excuse themselves from any responsibility. Wow, and then you have the Hermit going within the Wheel of Fortune. These are amazing. Look at all those stacked major arcanas. So then once you make this decision, you're like, here's my new beginning. Here's a new way of earning money. Here's a new health routine. Here's living somewhere new. Here's getting a new job. Here's starting to save for what I want in the future. Here's, just, this is it's almost like a portal in some cards. It's like stepping into a new way of life. Like you're going to change like your life, where your commute every day, where you live, how you navigate your surroundings is literally going to change. You may be living with someone new. But the Lover's card for me is really about commitment. Are you honoring your commitments? Do your words and actions meet? So it's one thing to commit to someone like on your wedding day, but a commitment is made not just once, it's in every day, making that choice in every little choice. It's like if you commit yourself to a new health routine, are you going to the gym or whatever, however you want to work out? Or are you more often than not doing it? Then you're not honoring your commitments. And the best way, I think, to gain confidence, to be a confident person, is to know you can count on yourself to do what you say. So if you say you're going to save money, you save money. If you say you're going to start an exercise routine, you do it. You exercise regularly. If you say you're going to get a new job, you do what you need to do to get certified, and you actually apply to jobs. You know what I mean? Don't expect like something to just drop on your lap. But this will take letting go of something, walking away for something. So where is it in your life where you feel like you're putting stuff in but not getting anything in return? Like, where is enough? And it's time to sort of say, okay, I've put in, it could be a relationship for some people, but it could be anything where it's just, it's just not working for you anymore. It's not bringing you joy. It's just not, you're not feeling it. It's not working for you. And like, wait a minute, why am I doing this? And once you can let those things go, stop hanging onto things that aren't adding to your life, there's this beautiful healing energy coming through. But a lot of it's going to, again, be a choice, a commitment that you consciously make to make these changes in your life. So you're going to heal yourself. This isn't something that's going to come out of the blue. You're going to heal by letting go of things that aren't serving you. And you have another Knight of Cups. So you have 2 Knight of Cups in this reading. New emotional beginning, love coming in, a partner, a friend, some sort of change in your emotions. But this is because you're actively going to be saying, I want a life that is balanced, and where I'm open to bringing in positive experience. I'm not full with negative experiences that I don't have the room to bring in anymore. And you're going to do that by having boundaries. And another thing with confidence is like if you're out there, even if you've been with someone forever, and this can be a friend, a business partner, a romantic partner, a family member, um, is setting boundaries and not ignoring red flags and knowing what those are, what you will and will not accept. And then when someone declares themselves, moving on and not making excuses or not staying in a bad situation. I mean, yes, of course, there are situations we must tolerate. You can't just walk away or not deal with everything. But if you're out there dating, oh, but I've been dating, you think, oh, I've been dating him for 7 months and now I'm starting to see this, but we're talking, you feel like you've invested a lot. You have to know when to be able to say, okay, my boundary is I don't tolerate this type of behavior and I'm moving on. And it's as simple and complicated as that. And that's very much this you're a sword energy. So this Queen of Swords is very like, she prunes away parts of her life that is hindering her growth so she can thrive. So no longer just carrying dead weight. And so you have two nine of wands too. So pruning away things before you get to the 10 where you just can't, where it's just like, oh, I can't do it anymore. It's like you can let things go before it becomes overwhelming. And another knight, the Knight of Pentacles, making these practical changes. So these are sustainable though. These are not instant gratification. This is slow and steady wins the race. Planting seeds that will be fruitful in the future, making practical changes. And with this, I mean, this can really be a new job, a money-making adventure, moving house, having your house be a home, so it's a comfortable, inviting place. You want to live with someone that you have to walk on eggshells and coming home isn't even like your sanctuary. You want your home at least to be your sanctuary. You can control your house, right? So really some practical changes for a lot of healing and feeling. A lot of people are just a lot of signs just are going to insist on peace and calm in any and every area that they can possibly control. But of course, the only thing we truly can control is ourselves and our choices that we make, and who we allow in and out of our lives, and having boundaries and self-respect so that we don't get ourselves into situations where we've tolerated bad behavior for too long. But I really think you guys are going to be open to love if that's something that makes sense for you. And letting go of some resentment, some old experiences that didn't work out, and taking the lessons, but leaving the baggage and resentment behind and being open to new experiences. So I hope you have a really lovely year. Take care.